So, welcome to the Living Your Dream Life podcast. I am your host, Judy Lee. I'm the vision creator. I empower women to change their life from vision to reality. And, I think there's millions of people out there just like me that were feeling stuck, not knowing what to do, not knowing that there's other options out there to help us change our life. And that's why I'm on a mission to empower more women over 40 to build their dream life. And so the topic of today's podcast is we're just here to walk each other home. I don't know if you've ever heard that saying, that quote of walking each other home, but it really struck home for me just a few days ago when I heard this again. And often, you hear things like that and kind of wonder, or you think that you know what that means, but what does that really mean? Are we really living our best life? Are we really doing our best for the people around us? Are we doing the best for ourselves in our journey in this lifetime? Because the more aligned that we are with our vision, with our mission, with our purpose, sharing our gifts and our talents, and the more that intention that we have as we walk along this path and along this journey, the better able we're just able to show up, shine, and really being able to walk each other home. And this journey in life is not meant to be walked alone. Right? So many of us, so many women just carry that thought of, I need to do it myself. If I want something done, I'll just do it myself. And that we have to do it on our own, but that's not true, right? Often that strong woman feels very isolated and very alone and very stuck and does not know what else to do about it. But sometimes we just have that um, strength within us that helps us to show up on our own. And that maybe isn't the perfect place to be. And sometimes when we support each other, I know we have some communities in the Dream Builders group where women just show up. Women are feeling alone. Women are looking for that community. They're looking for that circle of sisterhood, right? We're all wanting to be supported. We all want to encourage and support other women. Empowered women empower other women. It's such a strong, strong concept. So when we have that strength within us that we want to do everything ourselves, that we don't have time to join these communities and join these groups and really get to know each other and talk about things that are important to us, we're really missing out if we are being that strong woman that is doing everything and is isolating ourselves. We're feeling stuck, we're feeling tired, we're feeling like we don't know where to go, right? And so, just for thought process, who are you walking with right now? And am I allowing myself to be supported? Who am I supporting on this journey? And in this community space and in these groups, in these circles, we hold space for each other. And what does that even mean? But I think a lot of us are hurting. A lot of us are hurting on this process. And it's not about fixing anything or rescuing anybody or giving advice. It's just holding the place for them to share, to be accepted, to not share, to not be judged, to not be rejected, to show up and just be, and that is okay. And a lot of us don't know how to receive that, right? We think that we're a burden. We think that people are going to reject us. We think that we're going to be judged. But when we can find the right space that is a safe space, where people can just hold space for us to be what it is, whoever I am in that moment, it really is part of our healing journey and part of our journey in walking each other home is just holding that space for people wherever they are. And if it's one thing I've learned about dealing with women in this process is we don't know where they are. We don't know where they've been. And they're showing up looking alive and with spirit, but often our spirit and our heart is very broken on the inside, and we're just showing up on the outside in that shell of a wounded and healing woman that can always use that support. So sometimes we just need to allow others to be. We need to allow ourselves to be wherever we are. And do I do that for myself? Do I allow myself the space to heal and just to be wherever I need to be in that time? It's just so important to even look at it in that way. Is that, am I showing up for myself? Am I allowing myself to just be, because being is okay? And often we will hold that space so beautifully for others, but often we forget about ourselves. And so sometimes in these spaces, when we're holding that space and helping others to heal, is that's where that healing is going on, just when we're open in that open community. And it feels like we're often all the same. We often have the same circumstances, maybe not the same experiences in life, but often we can relate and we can see what other people are going through. And often we don't have to have it all together to do that, to hold space, to encourage people to just be, because it's messy, growing and change, transformation, and going through that healing process. And I think we're always healing. We're always healing that former version of ourselves in order to get to the next level, to the next growth stage, to the next transformation. It's a form of healing, part of our heart and our soul, and who we are and who we were and who we want to be. So while we're doing that in that messy place, we can always help other people and hold that space for them, and helping them heal also helps them to walk on this journey together. And while we do that, it's also sometimes very healing for us, right? Helping others is one thing that always makes us feel good. And sometimes we just have to show up, right? Sometimes being imperfect is very powerful. And we don't know what that means to other people, I don't think, until we actually do it. Sometimes we never know, but we always know that how important it is to show up and just to help those other people. And people need us, even in the mess, even in the tragedies and the traumas. And we still need that little bit of light to shine from somebody else, even though it's really, really messy. And so this all comes from love, right? When we look at that emotional scale, love is at the very top, fear is at the very bottom. So this is something that comes from love. The more time that we can spend in that high frequency, that those high vibrational feelings and emotions, the stronger we are going to become. And it's all of that fear that keeps us small, right? That keeps us invisible, that keeps us in our comfort zone, is those fears of change, fear of judgment, fear of not being enough, fear of rejection, fear of not knowing enough, right? So the longer that we can stay up in those high vibrations, out of the lower vibrations, that's where we kind of create that connection. So fear is going to create that separation from what we want, whereas love creates the connection. So even on this journey where we walk each other home, if we can just stay in the love, even though it's scary, even though it's messy, even though we don't know, right? If we can just hold the space, creates more connection. And that is so important in this journey that we walk with each other. And sometimes we have to choose that. Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's hard to get out of bed in the morning and continue on in this journey, right? Sometimes we have those challenges. Sometimes it's not going the way we wanted it to. Sometimes we have to find courage and bravery in everything that we do every single day, right? Sometimes our vision and our dreams aren't coming to fruition like we wanted them to. Sometimes things aren't going, life isn't going the way we want it to. So sometimes we have to choose how we feel when we have that choice, and just make that decision to choose love, to live from love. And what if we could choose that every day? What would that look like? What if we could just flip the switch from fear to love? What would that look like? What would that feel like every day in choosing the way that we want to feel. And so again, this is the walk, right? This is a journey. And when we are walking this path, especially when we have a strong vision, if we know what our dream is, it's never a destination. It's always about that journey, right? It's about the walk, it's about the people that we meet, it's about those connections, it's about experiences, it's about the opportunities, it's about feeling really, really great and feel like our purpose and our mission and vision are very um, highly needed. We are needed to make this world go round in a better way, right? To make each other's walk just a little bit more enjoyable on the way, a little bit more loving as we walk together. And so it really is a daily practice of being, it's a daily way of living. And all of those choices that we make that are aligned with our values, aligned with our heart, aligned with our soul, it really makes us closer to that higher version of ourselves, that next version, that future version of ourselves that we're always striving to move into, to embrace, to embody what that future version of me is actually going to be, because it's all right here. It's all right here inside of us. We just have to become aligned with her, our future version. So our time in this world, this is what this saying really struck with me, is that our time is limited and we do not know when our time is up here on earth. And in a way, we are just walking each other home. So are we doing that intentionally every day? Are we walking with people that matter, that things that matter? Are we sharing the things that matter to us? And so when we can do that intentionally, it's such a beautiful, beautiful thing. It makes for a beautiful life. But if we don't have intention in what we're doing, then we're a little bit lost, right? We maybe don't know where our road is. We don't know where our path is. We don't know who our future self is. So who are you walking home? Who are you walking with, right? And what is your intention around what we're doing here on earth? What are we sharing with other people? How are we showing up every day? Are we more into the fear, or are we high on the scale of love? Can we choose that? Can we intentionally think about what we're doing and how we're showing up, and can we make some those changes? And are we living in a way that honors our life and your life, right? Are we living in a way that honors our place in this world? Because sometimes we just go through the motions, right? We just go through the days, we're busy, we don't really know, so we just carry on with what we're doing. But when we can intentionally make a decision and make those choices, it makes things so much better, and we start to feel better, right? And our whole purpose in being here is to feel more joy and happiness and share that with the world and do things that are important to us that bring us more joy and happiness. And so that can be someday for you, or we can choose to live in alignment and start doing that every day, right? Just that intentional living. And when we do that and come from that place of intention, we come from a place of intentionally walking each other home, right? And we kind of have this circle of space where we hold space for the people that we're meant to walk with. And so food for thought in this really struck me just in that, I think the older we get, the more we think about this. I remember my mom sharing a story just after her mom had passed away. She was in the hospital with her, and as she was leaving, she had a bag full of her clothing and items from when she was there. And she went to the front of the hospital, and she was waiting for my dad to come and pick her up in the car. It was winter time, so dad had gone to get the car. And she said as she was standing there, there was a younger lady there that had just had a baby. And so there the two of them were, and just in different phases of life, right? And we live, and then we pass away and we die, and we don't know when that's going to be. And so that journey that we create, where we can create something that's helping other people live their life in a different way is just such a beautiful thing. And, often we get caught up in life, right? In family, in career, in life, and being active and being busy and enjoying. But just take a moment to think about, are you intentionally creating the life that you love? Are you creating your dream life? Because we do that with intention and with decisions. And if we're not sure about it, then we can spend some time in creating that and just starting to think about some of the things that we want to be experiencing, how we want to feel, what do we want to be doing, who do we want to be, what do I want to have, who is that future version of me that I would love to be experiencing and embracing her. So hopefully that's helpful for you in just starting to create your dream life with intention. We're all here for that purpose and a mission and intention of walking each other home and just finding our group and finding our tribe and finding our sisterhood, our community, our circles that can help us and we can help each other and walk each other home. So if you want more of this content, there's lots of other podcasts here. I have a YouTube channel, Judy Lee. I'm on Facebook. On my profile is Judy Lee and also Judy Lee, the Vision Creator. I've got programs and courses and content. I'd love to have you in one of our Dream Builders community in the circle or in the program, just as we grow and grow as a community and share with each other. Thank you for being here.